So let me start this off by saying that September was a really slow reading month. It was my birthday month, and I took time to do a lot of other things and not just read. So in September, I only completed 3 books, and they were all fiction. One was an E-Arc, Now That It's You by Tana Fest, Vinegar Girl by Ann Tyler, and Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Of the 3 books, I rated one 3 stars, one 4 stars, and one 5 stars. So I'll tell you about the 3 star one first. That was the E-Arc. It was about a woman. Her name is Meg. She is a chef. She self-published a cookbook. Her ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance had taken pictures. Nothing was happening with the book, so she's forgotten about it and kind of moved on. She and her fiance, they broke up. He cheated on her and she called off the wedding. So because she felt guilty about calling off the wedding, she's decided to repay all the debt that they would have accrued for the wedding. It's been 2 years since the wedding was called off, and she's just about to finish paying off that debt when she hears that Matt is sick. So she goes to the hospital to visit him. She figures it's time. 2 years have passed. We've moved on. It's time for us to be friends again. So she goes to the hospital to visit him. She gets to the hospital. His brother tells her that Matt just died. And the rest of the book is about the fallout from Matt's death, her reconnecting with his brother Kyle, who she used to be friends with when she and Matt were dating, and what his mother, Matt's mother and Kyle's mother, what the mother is trying to do to recoup even more money from Meg. I can't say that I didn't enjoy it. I did. What I couldn't get behind was how the issue of Matt's death was treated. Yes, Matt is dead. There's nothing you can do to bring him back. But there was a lot of disrespect in how they treated his memory. There's a romance building between Meg and Kyle. I could see that. I could see that they had been friends. I could see that they would have had some unrequited feelings because there were things that had happened when Meg and Matt were together. What I couldn't get behind was how Matt's death was treated. It was as though Matt's death was a convenience. Like Matt's death was the catalyst to pull Meg and Kyle back together. The way that Kyle talked about his brother. He talked about how he looked up to him, how he was one of the most important people in his life. Meg said the same thing about Matt. And then Matt dies. And they have a service, like a memorial service for him. It probably wasn't like a real funeral, but they had a memorial service for him. And they're there. They're supposed to be there, memorializing Matt. If you're gonna be there, spend some time to give some respect to the person who has died. Let that be its own thing. So I didn't like the way that the author treated the death as though it was a convenience. Maybe because I've lost a few people in my life, maybe because I'm still kind of reeling from the death of a close friend a few months ago. So I couldn't get behind that, and that for me was a real big impediment. Other than that, I didn't like Kyle. I thought he was an opportunist. I didn't love the situation, and so for that I rated it 3 stars. The next book I finished was Ann Tyler's Vinegar Girl, which is a retelling of The Taming of the Shrew. I filmed that recap, so I'll let you see it. Ann Tyler's Vinegar Girl is a retelling of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. It is a story about Kate and her younger sister Bunny. Their mother died, I think, when they were really young, and so they've been raised by their father. He is the absent-minded professor kind of character, and he gets the bright idea to marry Kate off because Kate is pretty unhappy. She's unpleasant. She is the housewife / caretaker for this family, but it's as though her dreams, nobody cares about her dreams for her own life. She was in college. She wanted to study botany, and she had dropped out to take care of her family. And it doesn't seem realistic that, her life isn't worth anything. So her father gets this bright idea to marry her off to someone, like a modern day arranged marriage. And you want to rail against this because you're like, why doesn't Kate get a say in her life? Except she does get a say, and eventually realize that it would be a good situation for her, this arranged marriage. And the gentleman becomes this character that you just start to fall in love with over the course of the book. And what I really like about this book is written by a more this book is written by a more mature author, Ann Tyler. If you don't know her, you could see right here, she's an older writer, and because of that experience, I mean, she's been writing for years, she develops these characters and develops the plot really well. And so at the end of the book, even though you sympathize with Vinegar Girl Kate, you are also rooting for this guy that she is considering a relationship with. And I gave Vinegar Girl between a 4 and a 4.5 star rating. I'm not sure, I can't remember what I took the star off for, but I mean, I thought it was really well developed. I thought it was a really great retelling. I plan to read the Taming of the Shrew original just for a comparison. And the last book I finished in September was Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. This copy I read from the library, but it's one of those books that you kind of want to have, especially as a writer. It's one of those books that I want to have on my shelf, one of those fiction books that I want to own, because I really love the writing style. I really felt engaged from the very first line. So here it goes. Lydia is dead, but they don't know it yet. 1977, May 3rd, 6:30 in the morning. No one knows anything but this innocuous fact. Lydia is late for breakfast. It starts by giving you what the book is about. It starts in the middle of the story. Lydia is dead. We don't know why. The big question is, why is she dead? Like, what happened to her? Did she die in her sleep? Did someone kill her? Did she commit suicide? Why is Lydia dead? And why doesn't anyone know it? What do they do now that she's dead? The book is about a Chinese American family in the 1970s, at a time when racism against Asians was very prevalent, and this Chinese man has married this white American woman, and her family doesn't like it. His family is almost non-existent, and they don't have any friends. The parents don't have friends, the children don't have friends. They're kind of in limbo, like maybe that's why Lydia is dead. So at first it seems like the I in Everything I Never Told You is about Lydia, about maybe the clues that she didn't leave for the people who would be looking for her and trying to investigate her death. But later you realize that the I could be one of many people. There are so many perspectives being explored in this book. So it's about the mother, it's about her relationship with her own mother, and how some of the things that she's learned from her own mother she's passed on unwittingly to her own children. It's about the father who is experiencing this racial prejudice because he's been so desperate to fit in. He has passed on these little idiosyncrasies to his children, and these little practices where they'll do almost anything to fit in, and I'm sure he doesn't understand that that's what he's doing. So why did he pass that on? Because there are things that has happened in his life that he hasn't told anyone. So the I could be him. It could be one of the two children, Lydia's siblings, Hannah or Nathan. It could be Jack. It could be anyone. So the title is really clever. The book is really clever. I gave it 5 stars because I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I wouldn't say it's the best book I've ever read, but I couldn't find anything wrong with it to take a star away from. So I rated this 5 stars. So there you have it. Those are my 3-star, my 4-star, and my 5-star rated book. 3 books in a month, all different kinds of writing styles and different levels of enjoyment. So that's what I read in September. A few days ago, I filmed my fall TBR, which includes a lot of novels, a lot of Pulitzer Prize winning novels, which I'm going to be reading. Let me know in the comments what you've been up to, what bookish things you've been up to. Give me a recommendation for some new booktubers to follow. Leave me a comment down below and let me know who your favorite booktuber is to follow. I understand if it's not me. For me, my favorite booktuber is Books and Lala. I watch her videos almost as soon as she posts them because I really enjoy how thorough she is with her recaps, with her reviews. I love the tags that she does. Books with B is another one of my favorites. Let me know who your recommendations are. If you have someone that you love to watch and that you think I'd also like, that I'd also enjoy watching, just leave their channel down below so I can check it out, okay? Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you later. Bye!